right, so welcome to Beyond the Gates. I am Neona James. I'm going to be your host, your advocate, and I'm also the founder of Protecting My Peace Foundation. So I created this platform so we can uplift individuals by telling them real stories of returning citizens, people that fought through the hardest part of the chapters, as well as their life that they chose to rise from. So today we're going to be diving into some truth behind reentry, the mindset, the grind, the setbacks, and some of the wins. So I'm honored to sit with our guest today. I'm going to let her introduce herself, tell you where she's from, and then we'll get things started. All right, so the floor is yours, madam.
All right, my name is Deana Atkinson Millen. I am from the Hampton Roads region of Virginia. I came home in 2014. I started my business, Beauty and a Broom, janitorial and cleaning in 2016. And I am also the founder of Second Chance Solutions, became 501 in January of this year.
Correct.
It is a return to citizen initiative program catered to the return to citizens from workforce development, character development, mentorship. It kind of ranges, varies. And I am also a two-time published author. My recent book, Second Season, Sovereignty and Strength, just hit bestseller about a week or two ago. So I'm pretty
Correct.
about that. I am excited and happy to be here. I appreciate the opportunity.
I definitely am ecstatic about you being here because I know you have some things you want to probably share with some people so they can understand, like, yes, it's not just you building a business. This is you as building a legacy, building your flower from the rocks, from the concrete, excuse me. So it's definitely going to be needed. A lot of people are going to enjoy it. I feel like you have a powerful story. So let's dive into a couple of these questions, see where we go with this, and see how you feel at the end. All right. So this is somewhat of a backstory. So what was life like before incarceration? Like, tell me about your family, your goals, or something that your world was navigating around at that time.
Before incarceration, I wouldn't even really say that there were too many goals that were there. I was just kind of like day to day moving through life. I am a mother of three children. They're adults now, but at the time they were young. And I was kind of wrapped up in a man, honestly. So which led to the incarceration, not knowing my self-worth, not knowing, not having this esteem where it needed to be, led me to make some decisions that I wouldn't even say that I regret, but they were bad decisions in that moment. Because I do not regret going to prison. I do not regret my story because it created the woman that I am today. So,
Understand? I understand.
yes.
I definitely agree with you on that one. Um, Traumatic things like that do change you as a person. It's either how you take it to make it better or you allow it to destroy you. So I commend you on that one. What changed you while you were inside? Like, how did you shift your mindset or your worldview of things?
At first, it started with renewing my relationship with Christ. I was in church in the choir, so that kind of kept me focused and centered. But I knew that I had messed up. I knew that at this moment, now I have two felony convictions behind my name, and they're violent crimes on top of that. So I had to shift my mindset because I thought, what am I going to do to let alone take care of three children and myself? I came from the customer service world. I worked a lot of like call centers, and I knew that you ain't even gonna be able to get those kind of jobs. So my immediate thought was, you need to do something that you'll be able to use later. So I signed up for building maintenance and repair. I was excited. And then like 2 months, I'm waiting for a class to start. And I'm like, what is going on? And they tell us that the instructor was sick. So I was like, okay, well, what else am I gonna do? So the only other thing I had enough time to do and complete was HVAC. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do the HVAC. So I did the HVAC just with the mindset of this will give me some kind of basis, some kind of foundation to be able to try to take care of my kids when I got home. I immediately knew that I messed up. It was maybe day two after sentencing, and I knew I wasn't going home. There's no bond. Everything is over. You're staying. it was like, okay, I learned my lesson. I'm ready to go home now. I wasn't
Right.
even in prison yet. So it started immediately from just knowing that I messed up. And then
Right.
what am I going to do to fix it? So, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, everybody processes differently. I think mine took a couple of years before it like really dawned on me like, Deana, you really is just watching your kids grow up from a letter, from pictures, from visitation. Like, I think after I seen them start going through puberty, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm missing a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it hits everybody differently. Gladly it hit you early. You was able to avoid some of that nonsense a lot of us did while we were there.
Mm-hmm.
So I commend you on that one because I was not paying attention to none of that stuff. I just wanted to be in the in crowd. I wanted to run the boulevard and do all the other stuff. And then when it got closer to coming home, I was like, oh, I ain't did nothing with myself. Like, what am I gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
But you do
Um,
it for yourself too. I should say, I think, you're doing wonderful.
I had to grow up. The grandbabies came.
Okay.
It was like,
Thank
yeah, it was like, lady, you gotta grow up. But even before the grandbabies came, I had to realize I had young ladies that were watching me.
Mhm.
So I was like, I gotta break the cycle. I didn't break the fact that they had kids early, but at least I broke neither one of them has been to jail. So I did something right. If I didn't do
Right.
anything else, I did something right. So, but thank you. I think I'm doing okay, but
Yes.
better than what I could be doing.
Right.
Um, so I'm not mad. Every day I wake up, I'm blessed. So I'm all right. And I'm not at Fluvanna, so I
That
can't
part.
complain too much. Can't complain too much. All right. So what would you say the hardest part of incarceration that people on the outside really don't understand?
The hardest part about incarceration to me was the way that we were treated. Um, and I'm not gonna act like all of the deputies and COs were terrible because they weren't. You had some that treated you like a human being, but for the most part, it was the look down on you, to treat you like less than a human being or like an animal, so to speak. I remember being in prison or in jail before I even got to prison, and I had came on my cycle. They wouldn't give me no pads. So it's like,
That's crazy.
what are we doing? So
Right.
stuff like that. It was the way that, first I would say, the way that we were treated, and then
Hmm.
second, um, because if you've never been to jail or prison, you don't know what it's like. You can imagine, but you do not know what it feels like to be behind those bars unless you've been there. And then the second thing I would say is kind of like their neck and neck is being away from my children and not having control over the decisions that were made for them. I could call home and give my advice or my opinion, but I wasn't the one that was actively taking care of them. So it was like, I had my children structured and routine, and I
Right.
come home and all of that is unraveled. I'm like, what happened? So
Right.
those were the two hardest things, in my opinion, that people on the outside don't understand. Yeah, you got somebody taking care of your kids and they didn't go in the system. Yeah, that's a good thing, but you still don't
Mhm.
have no control over nothing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So what barriers did you run into immediately? Like as far as like housing, IDs, employment, well, technology, any type of stigma? I know we spoke on the employment part, so we can skip over that part. But did you have like any problems with the housing? I think if you released around the time I did, you
Mhm.
probably already had your ID when you walked out as well.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's more of like the housing, technology, and being labeled.
It was more so the label for me. I felt like I had embarrassed my family. When I came home, I was able to go where my children were, or which was with my mother. It was uncomfortable. I slept on the couch, didn't have no space, still had all my stuff in tubs, just like if I was still incarcerated, like,
Right.
the boxes. So, but the hardest part was just transitioning and having to start over. And the when I had to explain to individuals why I was gone and what I had done, it was the faces, it was the judgment,
Mm-hmm.
even from some families. You would expect certain things to happen or people to help you and take care of you or look out, and they don't. So
Right.
it was the judgment that was hard to. So I wanted to change the perception of how I was saw. Like, oh, all you see me is a troublemaker. I'm not going to amount to nothing because that's what you think I just showed you. Now I feel
Hmm.
like I need to show you something different.
Yeah,
So that's what I did.
I definitely agree with you on that one. I went through that for like probably 3 years after I came home. My dad was just like, "You was never go to that mountain," and I'm like, "Okay, I got you."
Right.
So now he wants to be my best friend. I don't want you as my friend now. I respect you, but I don't want you as my friend now. When I
Mhm.
needed you, I needed you to be there. But sometimes you just have to go through that road, and it hurts. But at the end of the day, it's beneficial because it pushes you to do more. It
Mhm.
pushes you to your limits. To you can prove to yourself as well as to others that you are worth more than what they see. So that is always a helpful trait, even though it's a hurtful trait. But it's always a helpful trait. It depends on how you utilize it. um how did you rebuild your confidence or your identity on the outside? Like, what did you do? No, how did healing look to you?
Therapy. It was therapy and Jesus. The two and two go hand in hand for me.
Hmm.
I had to one forgive myself, and it took a while. That was not something that was immediate, you know. For the entire situation, from the man to the incident that happened that led me to be incarcerated, to the incarceration, to leaving my kids, and the guilt. I had to let it go. Um, because holding on to it, I would have stayed stuck. So it was therapy and it was Jesus. Ghosted. I went to therapy to heal my inner child, or to begin to work on healing my inner child, because that's not something that's quick to either.
Right.
And renewing my relationship with Christ, um, and keeping Him first and forefront in my focal point in my life and anything that I do. So that's how I did that.
Okay, I got you. So let's see where I want to go with this. Mm, all right. So would you say the background that you I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how do I want to word this. Would you say that your background, the trials and tribulations that you went through prior to incarceration, with incarceration, made you a stronger entrepreneur that you are today?
Um, yeah, I would say that all aligns in the character. That's to me is character traits. Um, to know how to what they would say, turn it on, turn it off. Like, I
Hmm.
know how to be professional, but I still know how to be like, if I need to tell you what it is, I'm gonna tell you what it is. So
Yeah.
I think it's a beautiful thing that to be able to balance the two, and the
Hmm.
hip hop, flip flop if I need to. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think we're the only magical ones that can do it because if they ain't never been incarcerated, they don't understand.
I don't
Like,
understand.
baby, I could turn into 120 75 75 real quick.
Right, right.
But right now, we're gonna talk to Miss James.
That part. That part. You gonna get Miss Millen
Right.
today.
Hmm.
Don't do it again. But just don't play with my money. You play with my money, now you might see. And I didn't had to let go of a couple of
Right.
clients, say, because I don't play about my money. If I did
Correct.
my job, I got to pay my team. I'm gonna need you to pay me my money, and I need it on time. Now that
Correct.
that be when the old Deana come out a little bit, just like, I don't get disrespectful, but I
But you
know
let
how
them
to,
know, like, I mean business.
like, don't play with me.
Yeah.
So I love that I have that. And I don't know, I don't want it to come off like intimidation. Like, I don't intimidate people, but
Correct.
I'm headstrong.
Correct.
So
You're a business person. You're a
don't play.
business owner.
That's just treat me how you want to be treated, and we'll be fine. It's
Correct.
so, as far as business, um, I try to show grace. Um, because I always wanted grace to be shown to me, especially when I first came home and I was trying
Hmm.
to build. So I do give grace, but don't play with my money. That's it.
Understood. Understood. What advice would you give to someone that's about to come home with no idea where to start?
Ah, the advice I would give to someone that is coming home and don't know where to start, they would need to, I would suggest to get with somebody like me or you. One, build you a community of individuals that understand who you are. Try to utilize the resources that were given to you. Even when we were incarcerated and we were in the reentry building, in the reentry program, utilize those resources. Those people are there to help you.
Mm-hmm.
It helped us. We didn't go back. So,
Right.
utilize the resources. But the people that don't have the opportunity to go through any kind of reentry program, I would suggest that they get with someone that has been incarcerated, that is doing good, that
Mm-hmm.
can teach them the ropes, to show them the way from day one.
Yeah, that's a big difference. I commend the individuals in the community that have never been incarcerated, trying to help individuals that are coming home from incarceration. Excuse me. But they can't really tell them what the struggle feels like, what it looks like, how
Right.
it's going to destroy you on times, mentally, spiritually, financially. Like they can't really help us through that because they've never been there. So I really feel like those that have been incarcerated should be the ones that are speaking for these individuals. Um,
Mhm.
just to speak on the reentry did help. Don't get me wrong, the reentry
Mhm.
did help. I just feel like it balanced us for communication issues.
Mhm.
I don't really feel like it balanced us for mental issues. It
Correct.
didn't balance us for financial issues. And those were the main things that we struggle with coming home. So I feel like Fluvana's reentry, and I'm gonna put it like that. Fluvana's reentry is not structured the way it should be for reentry.
Correct.
And that's just my opinion after talking to a couple of men. They they don't give the women half of what they give the men.
Mhm.
So we're like put on the back burner. We get the little crumbs of what they got left. And if they got a little money left or they don't have no money left, okay, well, we got enough to put them in this housing where we can move everybody else, but they got to run it themselves, which is what they did with our reentry. We ran our own reentry. They
Mhm.
gave us a book and said, hey, this is what y'all doing. Run these classes like this.
Mhm.
Y'all in charge of each other. What are we teaching each other?
We all in the
None
same.
of us been out yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we did good because a lot of us, especially those that I can say that was in the reentry program with me, have
Mhm.
not returned.
Correct.
And that's a good thing, but it's not a stable thing. Like it's not making sense. But it's DOC, that's how they put it together for us. So I guess we're gonna try to help them as they come out, but it's it doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't. After being home and going through everything, it doesn't make sense. But that's
I
just my opinion.
I agree. I totally 100%, 1000% agree. Even down to the activities, not
Yeah.
even reentry, even in while you're in prison, actively having to be there, the activities that the men get, we didn't get half of that. So the fairness is not fair across the board. And for there to only be one maximum security prison for women, you know, y'all ain't got
Mhm.
no money, not a little bit.
Not for
DOC,
us.
that's a million billion dollar corporation. Y'all don't
And
have, the money. So
the sad part about it, a lot of those prisons are private owned.
I mean facts, but they still got money. It's still a billion dollar
Right.
corporation.
But
So
they ain't got
some
money to give to us. They got money to take care of themselves.
Yeah, and that's okay because that's where we can walk in our purpose. I'm okay with
Correct.
that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. And what better person to teach the next person than somebody that's been there. So
Mhm.
us getting into prisons, I feel is imperative at
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Um,
Especially Fluvanna, but they're not gonna let all of us walk back in there. But
we can
they
work on
need to let some of us back in there. At least we can send messages by each other like, hey, help them out with this. If
right.
we can figure out how to team up together with everybody that does go back and forth, we can probably make some changes for them inside of there, especially those that are about to come home. At least they'll be prepared. They're just giving them their ID and a bus ticket does not prepare them to go fill out job applications.
And
Um,
the thing that pissed me off with that whole reentry thing, when they gave us the little piece of paper to say, well, you can sell yourself, that if they hire you, they get a $2,500 write off.
them people
Like,
don't care about that.
don't do that to them, because then for me, it gave me a feeling like, okay, well, with this, I'm somebody gonna give me a good, it
Hmm.
boosted me up.
Correct. And they
To
still don't
let,
want
and then
nothing
I
to do
got
with
let down. And so I think that's a problem.
you. They still don't want nothing to do with you. They don't
Correct.
care about their money. They care about their reputation. They care about
Yep.
being associated with you. They care about you being inside of their establishment. They don't care
Especially
about that
if
money.
your crime is violent, especially if your face hit that news or somebody's newspaper. Yeah, it's rough, you know.
You're going back to the same location that you left. If you leave in the
That,
city that you love and you go back and you're asking for a job, of course somebody's gonna remember you,
yep.
especially if you're going to a small town. Like where I'm from is a small town. Of course, everybody that I go to school with know what I did
Mm-hmm.
because I did it in the city. So to go back there and look for a job was humiliating. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't even until this day I've been home 12 years. I still don't go to Williamsburg unless I have to.
I know that's right.
Ain't nothing there for me. But my mom and my kids. Well, my mom and my oldest and my grandkids. But other than that, I don't go down there.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing there. And it's like they don't realize, they tell you, you got to change your people, places, and things.
Mm-hmm.
But go here to go get a job. No. What they need to have the list already established. Hey, these are the ones that give you second chances.
Correct.
Apply for these jobs. They may not have no openings, but at least apply so you can get into their list. Or say, hey, let's start applying for jobs this week. You get released on this day. So
Mm-hmm.
let's start replying now. So they already have you in the system. So if you get hired, we got you. They need to have where they could put you in housing on a hotel for at least a week, help you get a job, give you a bus pass for whatever city you in. Like there's so much stuff that they could possibly do with that extra money that they get, that they choose to give you ice cream that the men make. We can't make our own ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Or they want to give you special meals, or they want to give you canteen orders and all this other stuff. Give us something that can actually help us on in reentry. Like that stuff like that, it might be little, but it's beneficial to somebody that comes home to nothing.
That's right.
It's crazy, but that's what we come in at. So
Exactly.
it's
You
just
know,
got some work to do.
exactly. And I think that is also a mindset thing, though, because I unfortunately had to come back to the same exact area that I did my crime. And that was mainly because of my children being young. They were still in school, and I ain't had nowhere else to go. I couldn't
Right.
just uproot myself, 3 kids with no money, no job, no nothing, to go somewhere else just to start over. So
Right.
I had to bite the bullet, put on my big girl panties, pull up my boots, straps, and do
Mm-hmm.
what I had to do.
Yeah.
I was able to find a job, but that's what Beauty and the Broom was birthed, because it was out of necessity. Okay, I can clean really good, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go do that, and hopefully I can create some legacy for my children, so they
Right.
they don't have to start off life in the hustle and bustle and scraping and scrubbing and scrambling.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's a mindset thing.
Yeah.
If you change the way you think, which is why my slogan is choose to become. It's a choice. You get to choose to become who you want to be, how you gonna move, how people view you. That's all up to you.
Correct.
But everybody don't have that same confidence. I was fortunate for God to drop that in my spirit, but everybody don't have that. And like you
Mm-hmm.
said, that's where we come in, because I honestly feel like when it comes to the higher ups in the world, they don't want them to not come back.
Correct.
So that's why they don't create things for them to keep them out or keep them occupied or put them on the path that they need to be on, because they want them to come back so they can continue to make that money.
Mm-hmm.
They want the recidivism rate to be high. They claim they don't, but if you didn't, then those programs especially when you have individuals like us that come
Mhm.
home and tell them what is needed, and
Correct.
they still don't do it. So it's up to us. And
Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
got what this.
Believe.
Yeah.
All right. So, what message would you want the world to hear about returning citizens? Which I think we already touched the bases, but we're gonna ask the question anyway, so we can close the session out.
World. I would want the world to know that we're human too. Just because we messed up doesn't mean that we're bad people or that we can't be successful. And because majority of the time, what I want to say to people that look at us crazy, I be wanting to say, you did some stuff, you just ain't get caught.
Yep.
So
Very
don't
much
be so
so.
quick to pass judgment over here. You know, you
Mhm.
got some skeletons in your closet and some stuff you're gonna take to the grave too. It was just unfortunate. And I wouldn't even say unfortunate, because if we didn't go through what we went through, we wouldn't be the women that we are today. God had to sit us down for a reason. Because
Yep.
I feel like if he didn't sit me down, I would be dead
Yeah.
on the path I was going on,
Yeah.
So we human, one, we're not bad people, two, and three, it could be you too. It could be you, one of your family members. All it takes is one bad decision or
Yep.
one bad emotion, and it's over with. So
Correct. Yeah. It's crazy, but
don't be so quick to judge. So
that
some of us
part,
doing better than some people that ain't never even been in prison.
baby, preach
So
to that one.
you can't pass judgment. Everybody's journey and
Mhm.
path is set by the Most High. So who are you? You ain't got a heaven or a hell to put nobody in to
Mm.
pass no kind of judgment on somebody and what they did in their past.
Yep.
Even recent and currently, because I can be transparent to say that I thought that my story and what I went through would be a blueprint
Mhm.
for my family members and the people around me. Well, that it didn't necessarily work that way. My son is currently incarcerated as we
Gotcha.
speak. So I'm still battling, but I praise God that I went through what I went through so that I can help my son navigate.
Yeah.
Even though he a man, it's kind of a little different walk,
But you
but
have an
being,
understanding of what he's going
yeah,
through. That's the
exactly.
part
I
that
know
helps.
who to call. I don't play. Like you're not giving him his meds. I'm calling that jail. What we doing? What we
Right.
doing? So that he has an advocate that knows.
Mhm.
Versus when I was incarcerated, I could call home and say, "Mom, this is the third is going on." She
Just do
don't know
what
who
they
to
ask you to
call.
do.
She
Hmm.
don't know who to call, what to do,
Yeah.
but I do. And then, being in the nonprofit community, being able to tag team other people to say, hey, look, this is going on over here in
Hmm.
Western Tide with a regional jail. I need you to, and the next day they was there. That
Correct.
kind so everything came full circle.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it.
That's all right. That's all right. And this it's gonna be a lesson learned. It's gonna make him a stronger man. And it's gonna bring you all closer because there's gonna always be a bond. And it's not saying that your other babies are not special to you, but that one right there is gonna be a bond that can't nobody break.
And he the
Y'all
only boy.
the same one.
Yeah, absolutely. He's the
Yeah.
only boy stuck in. So yeah, that's my heart. That's my
Yeah.
twin. But they say twin now.
Yeah.
So but
Yeah. I'm
yeah,
trying to
I'm
keep up with the lingo too. The kids is it's
girl.
moving too
It's
fast.
too much. But you got grandbabies, you got help. So,
Ooh. They ain't helping me do nothing. They got 9, 5, and 2 going
okay,
on 3.
you
They
got a
ain't
big.
helping me do nothing but
Oh,
spend my money.
okay, that's facts. Yeah.
All right. So thank you for tapping into Beyond the Gate. Excuse me, y'all. Every story shared proves reentry isn't just a second chance, it's a second chapter. Chapters get better with community support and understanding of our story. Make sure if this moved you, share it. Someone out there needs to hear that rebuilding is possible. Until next time, keep pushing, keep growing, and keep walking boldly beyond the gates.